So we're just going to hope that it stays that way. And we're going to get into game number one between
That's good to hear,
TDC
TJ.
and Nova. Don't question my methods, Suey. I have...
Am I muted?
Nope, not anymore. But you were for a bit.
Oh.
I have at least 4 degrees in science. And this broadcast is going flawlessly back from this break.
Ignis being banned here, with Elsu being banned, that's actually really interesting that TDC banned Elsu, because if you don't ban Elsu, you don't ban Richter, you don't ban Ignis, you force red side to ban it, and you'll get one of them. And normally they prioritize Ignis and Elsu, and then they'll give you Richter. So I'm questioning the Elsu ban from the side of TDC, because that's a pretty meta draft. To get one of the power picks there, because that's how Richter is literally making it through draft, is because red side is forced to ban Ignis and Elsu every single time. So with that now being available, Richter is going to be banned here. Yep, and boom. Now they have first pick. They could go for Valheim or Lindis, and they're going to go with Lindis and secure the #1 jungler in the game right now.
TDC do exactly that, leaving Nova Esports on the back foot. We didn't touch on it, but Sui, you called this would be a 2-1 set in favor of Nova. Are you standing by that?
Yeah, I'm putting my reputation out there. I'm going for Nova EU. I believe in them. I want a Western team to be successful, at least an EU one, because Latin America just fell, and the hope of the Western region is just North America. And I think North America will pull through, but EU has to also pull through as well. But I think they'll be able to do it here. But this is going to be their toughest matchup in this group is this right here. But I think they can do it.
The other team in their group is, of course, XD Gaming, who had a very rough performance yesterday, and I'd tend towards favoring Nova Esports over them, as I think most people would. That means they can lose this match and still have a shot at qualifying for Stage 2. But if they can't beat TDC here, their odds of beating them during the Stage 2 group stage are not terribly good. So
yeah,
this is
they need to take Kriknak here, though. Vex is just so good. Or even Murad. They don't have to take Murad here if they're not going to play Kriknak. But if they want to play Kriknak, they need to take the Kriknak here right now, because Kriknak with a Valheim comp works really well, along with Raz. That's a lot of burst potential. But they're going to go ahead and opt for the Kresh here, which means that Kriknak will probably be banned by TDC, and they're going to deny, because they probably did research on Vex, and they know that he's phenomenal on the assassin junglers. They may even ban Murad against Vex. We'll see if that ban is going to come out, but if they did their homework, they will target ban Vex.
I'd also like to point out, after a disappointing season, this is Vex's first performance on the world stage. He didn't play at AWC. He was the jungler everyone wanted to see at 2 World Championships. He's finally here. You got what you asked for, and it's time to see if they can make it work.
Yeah, we also can't forget about their coach right there, just appeared on the screen, Jay Jesse, a phenomenal drafter, a strategizer. He's the reason why Nova Latin America drafted so well and became the Latin America champions. He also helped draft for EU, where they had a rough draft game 1 and against Bubble Team, and completely turned it around games 2, 3, and 4 to win there. And Kilgroth being taken off, that's a very interesting ban, because Kilgroth would suffer tremendously against a Valheim side lane there. So I wonder why the Kilgroth ban came out. Maybe it's because they don't want a counter to their assassin hero that they're going to play here.
I would lean towards it's making sure that there isn't anything that can survive this CC focus that they're relying on. But I do agree it's not an immediate obvious pick. Instead, of course, the Zenial ban will come through. This, like you say, leaves Roxy open. Good call, Sui. No assassin pick just yet.
Ooh, Superman. Oh my goodness, Natalia. Thailand is playing what Vietnam is so good at. And Thailand actually played Natalia in the Arena Valor World Cup competition and played it to great effect. And if they land, again, the Malik Ibanez combo and the lethal death rays, that's going to be so devastating here. And that's something that Nova has to be careful of. So are they going to go for an assassin for Vex here? Because honestly, Superman is so good against assassins if he can engage on them and put them and displace them with his burst. So are they going to go for the Violet, or are they going to put Vex on Maraud or Cricknack? Because those power picks are open.
They do have a lot of options available, and of course Vex, he did have a disappointing season. This is hard to say because we all want to see Vex succeed, and when he takes over games, he is one of the most terrifying players to play the game, but he has not done that this season. He will, however, be going for the confidence pick, the comfort pick. We're getting Vex on Nacroth on the world stage.
Yeah, that's probably his best hero that he's known for, the Nacroth play. Valor Series 1, he made a name for himself. He put the Nacroth on the map for the world to see, and he dominated every single opponent he faced playing the jungle Nacroth, because he could just run around the jungle, land, go in, go out, take the farm, steal your farm, and then just rotate across the map very quickly and get super fed. And that's the goal of Nacroth here. If he does not do that against TDC, then that is going to be a very tough game for him, because that's Nacroth's win condition. You got to win the jungle early. You got to dance around and rotate very fast, gank like crazy, and then just snowball the heck out of your enemy team and invade and literally live in your team, your opponent's jungle.
We'll have to see if the Nacroth can succeed. He didn't during the regular season. I'd like to see that change. Vex, iFlex, Nova Esports representing Europe on the global stage in their first match of the AIC.
Yeah, this is Vex's time to shine here. Finally, he is on the international stage, playing not against his own region, but against teams from other regions. This could not be more exciting. The other time, actually, he competed for Nova at the Honor of Kings qualifiers in Macau, actually. So that was his first taste of international competition, but it wasn't on the same level or same scale of a stage that he is on right now in Vietnam. I can't wait to see how he's going to do.
A key part of Nova's victory at the Valor Series finals was, of course, their star player Grizzly Q, who has been dominating from the support role all season long. He needs to show up here. The core of this team right now is Vex, Grizzly Q, iFlex. If those players aren't here, this is not going to be the Nova Esports we expect.
Oh my goodness. Did you just see what Muwan just did there? Wow. That was insane, that burst damage from that one Superman play.
Yeah, big damage found onto Vex. They'll have to play back as Nova Esports do get into the game. This Sage Golem is up for grabs. All of TDC want to be able to pick it up, but they're way behind it. Just going to get rich there, whilst Nova counter-invade for a Sage Golem of their own. It'll be Vex to pick up that one, and now he needs to get to safety. And there's big damage found. Barely does he escape into the pen. There's the chase. Mr. Suns has the kill, and Nova Esports suffer an early shutdown.
Yeah, that is so unfortunate for Vex there. He did not turn level 2 after he took that golem, and that is devastating for a jungler. He needed to turn level 2 there, but he did not, and he then jumped into a crowded area and got focused so hard, and that is now the first death, and then now the second death here, and that is devastating for Nova Euro. That is a very bad start.
That is a rough start indeed. 1 minute and 27 seconds into the game, they're already down 2 kills. It's not exactly the start you want for a team like this. Poseidon in the mid lane is going to be a player I watch to step up, though. He did it at the Valor Series finals. This can be his chance to shine.
Yeah, it is definitely his chance to shine here. One thing about Nova EU is they're the one that is here with their full starting roster. So that gives them hope, because the other NA teams, Latin America and NA, did not come with their full starting roster.
Yeah, this is a complete roster. We'll see if that works for them. We'll see if that makes a major difference. Moon1 still trying to control his own jungle. You can see Coco getting a little bit of vision on the Roxy. He's an ideal counter, but only really once he has the ultimate up. For now, he's just getting bullied. Somebody call the police. This is just rude. Goodbye. by Coco.
Yeah, Muwan on this Superman. Who'd have known Superman is meta now? The way that they're playing him so well. Maybe they know how to counter the Roxy and playing it into the Roxy and constantly pushing her and bullying her with the movements and the abilities of Superman here. But that was just crazy. And Coco was just in a really tough spot, honestly, by himself in enemy territory there.
Yeah, maybe if he is ult, he can use Agni's Grasp creatively, or even just the enemies are scared enough of him, they don't press under the tower. But without ult, at level 3, there was just nothing he could do.
And that is the top tower already down around the 3-minute mark, TJ. 3-0, and now they're behind 2,000 gold already. This is very uncharacteristic of Nova Europe here.
Team normally quantified by their aggressive early games. Currently suffering. iFlex playing behind the tower. Got Grizzly Q to join him. They're going to have to play perfect defense though, because the focus is in onto their first tier tower. Poseidon does land damage. Ishaldens is not low, but the tree stands tall. The Grizzly Q is annihilated. Ooh. That's another pick over to TDC.
My goodness, Mr. Suns, it doesn't matter what mage you put him on. His mechanical skills is just phenomenal to watch. Any mage you put him on, the way that he was able to land the skill shot of Natalia there behind the tower and getting the kill on Grizzly Q, that was just amazing. This is really tough for Nova EU, TJ, because like I said, Nakrov needs to be ahead in the early game. He has to run around the jungle and literally steal all the jungle and get super fed, because if he's not fed, you won't have the damage, you won't have the items and the levels to really carry his team to victory.
I do like this from Nova though. They realize they're behind. They realize the only way back into the game is with this Abyssal Dragon, and they will get a Grizzly Q able to secure it within the Metamorphosis. The Nature's Realm does land, but Grizzly Q can tank it. The question is, can he get away? And the answer to my question is yes.
Yeah, he is going to get away here, but they're going to give up the tower, and look at that Muwan. He's like, I don't need the wave. I'm just going to rush right in and take that tower away.
The tower is so low, you can walk up and snag it. Grizzly Q is trying to help power farm Vex right now. He'll actually just steal that farm as Poseidon gets annihilated underneath the tower. An excellent lethal raise. Now Moonwan will enter into Coco. And Coco, again, I hope you don't have PTSD, because you again are shut down in almost exactly the same place.
Won the combo and the lethal death race from Mr. Suns, instantly deleting Poseidon, and then Coco getting again repositioned by Superman himself. Muwan just completely shutting down this Roxy. Oh my goodness, Superman. Is Superman going to be meta again, TJ? Because it sure looks like it.
Oh my god, as iFlex gets scooped out from behind the tower, I dare say yes to it.
They have to be careful. Against a Superman, you need to be aware of where he is, his positioning, and especially when he's in that flight mode, you got to be extra cautious, because that's how he wants to engage against you. And he can easily... Oh wow. Mr. Sun just stole that.
Golem. Yeah. Mr. Suns will also have the defense of a Great Nature's Realm time there, just to make sure that he can get away. Ishaldens playing well with his teammate.
He just sidestepped the power surge from Poseidon there. I mean, his positioning, his movement on this Natalia, in general, Mr. Suns is just, oh my goodness. His mage play, his mechanical sheer talent is just amazing. I mean, it's unbelievable sometimes when you watch him play, and his movement and his positioning, and how he's landing every single skill shot so well.
Here's the Abyssal Dragon, second of the game. Nova got the first one. It's possibly the only reason they're only 3k behind now. That's got to change if they want to make things happen, and it will not. TDC get the second Abyssal. Now they're in control as iFlex is caught out. The camera cuts away. You don't want to see this.
Oh my god, the way that they play, think about it. The Arcane Nova comes out, the lethal raise, the slows come, and in the lethal raise is hitting you, then Arcane Nova then hits you. If the orb hits you, that's some extra burst damage, and also reduces your movement speed as well, and can stun you. It's just, that's insane the way that he's playing Natalia. The combos that's coming out from this Natalia play is just, wow. Yeah. They have to watch Mr. Suns here.
Grizzly Q will try and play safe behind the tower. They don't have any wave clear though, and it's 7 minutes 30. That's a high ground exposed in the mid lane.
Yeah, 7 minutes 30, and it's 1 minute, 1 kill a minute, sorry, for TDC right now. And that's going to be the 5th tower that they take down, putting them into a solid 5,000 gold lead as well. This is looking really tough. Level 12 on the Lindis versus a level 10 on the Necroth. Even if the Necroth goes in, he just doesn't have enough damage to really take care of Get Rich here.
Oh, Grizzly Q caught out as we speak. He will spend the Metamorphosis. That's good disengage. Moon 1 does get caught out. Good damage found. Moon 1 will fall. Grizzly Q stays alive. Lethal Raise will not connect. Finally, Grizzly Q falls, but it's still a positive trade for Nova.
Yeah, that's a positive sign. However, Get Rich, he stuck onto Grizzly Q, constantly doing damage, activating Lunar Champion multiple times, and killing and taking care of Grizzly there. Get Rich is playing so aggressive, and his positioning has been perfect with his team. You notice that his team is always kind of in front of him as he's aggressing and keeping up in pace so that he's not really out of position when he's trying to aggress there. However, them catching out Moonwan is positive because that's exactly what you want to do.
Oh, that was good disengage. TDC try and spring a trap. Nova are wise to it. They've been caught out a few times. It won't happen that time, as this Abyssal Dragon has picked up the 3rd of the game to Toyota Diamond Cobra.
I love how great Natalia players use the Arcane Nova to just zone their opponents away. I mean, and secure objectives. That was just perfect use of the Arcane Nova, and it's such a good zoning tool because if they get hit by that, they're going to get stunned, and it's gonna continue to slow them. So amazing Natalia play to zone them out. And I feel like Natalia is a mage that we might see a lot more of in the next few days here.
Yeah, Natalia definitely has so much damage potential. She just needs to be protected, and at this level, teams have the coordination to do it. Here's the Dark Slayer under threat. TDC should be able to pick it up below half HP on it, and Nova are elsewhere, otherwise occupied, considering an Abyssal take. They'll know now that's a relative impossibility.
Yeah, this is huge for them here. They can summon the Drake and then force a high ground tower down.
Oh, surely not.
They're gonna go ahead and take this and raise this
This
Dragon
is just
Siege.
greedy. This is just rude. And TDC will double buff. They are, as I like to say, swole. With the Abyssal Dragon buff and the Slayer, they'll be able to take any team fight, and they're almost guaranteed a win.
Look at that. He has the Drake and the Dark Blessing buff. Get Rich is fearless right now.
There is very little that can get through to him. As we speak, it's going to be a jungle cleanup from TDC. All of Nova are grouped up, desperately trying to find a pick. That's the only way this turns round.
Yeah, and look at that. They call it the Caesar and the Kratos there. That's pretty cool names here. And Coco.
Caught out by the Agnes grasp. That is quite good. Where is the punish, though? There is none. And Moonwon will survive. The tower does fall.
Yeah, and then you notice the Purify was used and it was not up for the Agnes grasp. So that was a perfect moment for Nova to kill Moonwon and have the advantage here. But now
will go
things are
through.
not
Good
looking
Metamorphosis. Grizzly Q stalls up the fight. They get the wave clear. Only one siege minion remains, and it too will fall. iFlex goes down though, bathing in the lethal rays as the high ground tower crumbles.
Oh my goodness, that lethal raise damage is just too much to handle. Instantly deleting iFlex, and look at that. Poseidon's gonna try to come in and just like that gets rid, just makes him disappear.
As they do a high ground tower, one remains, and Nova are playing hard defense now. A shock will come through. Grizzly Q chased away. Moonwon bullying them out of their own base. You can't even defend your core if you want to. They're run all the way down the top lane. There is only Vex still in the base, as Moonwon is mean to the rest of Nova.
Yeah, this is just devastating. Like I said, Vex just can't do much. Necroth needs to be ahead. I mean, if he's behind late game, there's no way he can come back. Because every time he jumps in, he's a liability, and they can easily burst him down. And this is going to be the game for TDC.
Shock comes through. iFlex will fall. Vex tries to stall up. Poseidon's here as well. Maybe there's an opportunity to get a kill, get a turnaround. Poseidon goes in. He's annihilated. The core's under threat. It's only Vex. He gets one to his credit, but that should be all. Coco's here. Vex got the wave clear. This might be possible as a stall, but now the next wave is here, and it's all on Grizzly Q. He needs to be brilliant. There is no ult. There is no chance. And TDC take game 1.
They definitely extended it more than they could have, but wow, you can see why when you play in the cross composition, you have to get the lead, and if he falls behind, you just can't do much on an assassin comp. And if assassin composition falls behind a marksman composition, there's really not much you can do, because the whole point of playing assassin composition is to invade the jungle, snowball. They try to do an invade on that very first rotation. Vex got the golem, but did not turn level 2. Muon had a beautiful first initiation in the middle of the river there, in the mid lane there, that got them low and set up the stage for TDC to play super aggressive. But wow, Nova EU looks like they're out of their league right now, but I feel like they have the talent, they have the potential to bring it back for Europe.
I have a couple words to say. Hey Nova, welcome to Vietnam. I hope you enjoy your time here at the AIC. It's not started well, has it? How do you turn this around?
I think banning Alistair was very interesting. He hasn't really seen a lot of play, and he's a mage that doesn't have a lot of range. Yes, he has a good lockdown, but doesn't have much range, and there's a lot of mages that can easily out-pressure him in the mid lane. So I feel like the Alistair ban was very interesting. I feel like they could use that ban instead to target ban specific heroes away from Thailand there, and I feel like they could have banned Superman. I think they need to ban Superman at this point. The way that Muon's playing Superman, it's pretty scary. I mean, he basically shut down Roxy, Coco's Roxy, so hard every single time that they face off against each other. So I think Superman needs to be a ban unless they want to play Superman themselves.
I will say XD Gaming are looking significantly better following that performance. Here is
yeah, they definitely look a little better. So Nova EU, they gotta be scared, because if they fall decisively 0-2 against TDC,
they need to
that kind of
EDG.
Their mentality might suffer going against XD tomorrow. So they have to be successful, and if they lose against TDC, they have to beat XD. But I think they can make a comeback here. They can get the reverse sweep like they did against Bubble Team, but we'll see if that is possible against such a good team like TDC from Thailand here.
You see the end stat line for that game, and there's not a whole lot to break down, but I'd like to point out the 25% of the team's damage, the second highest on the team, was done by the Superman of Moon 1. You don't normally see that. Don't get me wrong, Superman's been great, and there was times where he was almost unbeatable, but he never was the lead damage source.
Yeah, again, if you can land all of the engages from Superman into the enemy team and get maximum AoE damage there, that's how you play Superman. And you notice that all of the Asia teams have been playing him so well and so scary. I mean, OMG from China, WY played Superman like a god, and Muon as well. Look at that, every time just displacing their opponents into their allies, and then the entire team just focuses that person. Superman is able to push into danger.
I wasn't joking. If anybody has a hotline for bullying, that was what it
Look at that.
like.
The arcane spirit snipe there, TJ. That was just insane.
The play at the end, where TDC Moonwon scooped two Nova Esports players and carried them all the way down the top lane, well past where the second tier tower would have been, I legitimately didn't want to watch. It was gross. Maybe we'll get a replay of it here as we relive the last moments. Poseidon dove in. There wasn't much that could be done. Credit to Vex, he found a trade, but that was game.
Yeah, that was definitely a game there. And again, I think Superman needs to be banned at this point. It's just they don't know how to play into it. Other regions do play Superman, but the top teams they know exactly how to play against the Man of Steel. But he has been shown a resurgence in the meta from these Asia teams because even though he was nerfed and people stopped playing him, he's still good because again he has a lot of displacement abilities. He has two abilities that can displace you, and that's something that you definitely need to watch out for. And you notice that it's not just straightforward where you can push people away. You can jump and use Man of Steel and Speeding Bullet in fight mode and literally displace the opponents towards your allies and jump kind of behind them, sort of. So that type of Superman mechanic is paying dividends in terms of how they're engaging and putting people out of in a bad position to win these fights.
Yeah, we time and time again said, me specifically, I'm going to take credit for that, that the only reason we weren't seeing successful Superman was because people in the West didn't know how to play. And I stand by that statement. You get sloppy, you get used to how good the Superman was, and then all of a sudden, he's not that good. And now it does require genuine skill to execute the combos. But some
it's hard. I've tried playing Superman. You need literally hundreds of games, if not over 1,000 games on him to really understand the nuances of his mechanic, when to use the Purify against which heroes. That's key. The Purify on Superman is really what makes him work, because when you Purify and engage and able to knock back people twice in fight mode, it is a massive combo that has so much reward.
Okay, let's reset. We'll take it as a granted that wasn't a great starting performance for Nova. How do you go from there into Game 2? What needs to change?
Yeah, I don't think that Vex should play Necroth anymore. It's just you need you need to make sure you win early game, and right now the early game of Thailand is just so much stronger. And I think Coco probably should play his comfort picks. I think Kilgroth on Coco is phenomenal. I wasn't really as impressed with his Roxy, even though he did land a few Agnes Grass, but the Roxy just didn't work out. So I feel like putting Coco on a champion that he's broken on, like a Kilgroth, is really good. I don't understand the Kilgroth ban from Nova. I don't know if they've watched the other leagues, the Asian leagues, and really did the study, because Kilgroth has kind of been a less of a priority pick, and they like to pick like Superman over the Kilgroth because of his value that he adds not only in side lane but also in team fights. So I feel like the draft has to change. They need to change the draft and put Vex on a marksman. It's a much safer bet because these is the assassin compositions. They just know how to play against so well. I mean, TDC just knows how to shut down assassin compositions really well.
And we really did see Vex just bullied in the early game there. I don't think that changes. I think the way to change that result, like you said, is to fundamentally change how they're playing. And TDC certainly aren't thinking about doing any of that. You can see them, they're all smiles there as they look to pick up a game number 2, potentially.
Yeah, they are feeling really solid right now. They know they're the top dogs. They're feeling super calm. That was a decisive win over Nova. I mean, they had 7 kills in 7 minutes, and 0 deaths. The only deaths that came that they gave over was towards the end near the core. I mean, they had a perfect game for most of the game, and that's a statement, because this is a solid team. Poseidon, Vex, Grizzly, Q. These are all iFlex. These are all super talented, like superstars from Europe. And TDC is not even the best Thailand team. And they were able to dominate against Europe's best team there. So it just shows you how strong of a region Thailand is.
Yeah, it definitely feels like Thailand are... It definitely felt like Thailand were in control of that match, but I won't go so far as to say that was unwinnable for Nova, because we did see well-executed opportunities. I want to see a Nova Esports second look that is a little bit more organized and perhaps a little bit more, let's say, self-aware.
definitely here, and the Valheim is going to be banned. Although Valheim was completely countered by the Natalia play, and I don't know why they're banning Valheim. Again, Valheim is not a priority in the Asia meta. They just play high burst characters. Valheim doesn't have burst. Valheim has CC. His build is not the burstiest build that you can put on say like a Superman, for example, or you can put on other super bursty side leaners. So that's why Valheim has not been part of the meta. He's fallen off the meta actually. Elsu being banned is very interesting because this is going to be an Ignis ban on the side of TDC. Honestly, they don't need to ban Elsu. They could have just left it open and take either Ignis or Elsu, whatever TDC doesn't ban. So maybe Nova he doesn't play Elsu that well because he's a hero that takes a lot of games on to really master here. So right now, this is their chance here to pick Lindis. I think Lindis is absolutely critical to pick up here and deny from TDC. She's first pick worthy. She's literally the best jungler because of her ability to rotate jungle very quickly. Her Lunar Champion ultimate is on a super low cooldown. It gives massive amounts of burst potential when she has her item build. So Lindis needs to be picked up right now.
No Superman ban.
Nope. They have to deal with it. Oh my goodness, not Malik. Oh man. That's a very risky first pick there.
I do see that now. I think I'm a few seconds behind you, but yes, the Malik does come through a first pick for Nova. This may be what we call a stalling pick. You intentionally leave more good options open so that your opponent has to pick between the wide variety of options and choose and leave some over for you.
Yeah, they're going to take Linus right off the bat here. I don't know why they didn't first pick Linus. That's a very risky draft there by Nova. I think what they need to do is play Violet into Lindis and just make it to late game because they're not going to win the early game. And Malik is very strong in the early game. He can help them stay and not lose the early game too hard, but they need to pick a marksman. So that's going to be key here for Nova. But I think in terms of their picks right now, they can pick up, for example, Liliana and just secure even Mina potentially here. But Chugnar is up. So, yep, they're going to pick up the Mina, and Liliana would be really solid as well here because, they're actually going to pass Liliana and go ahead and, what? Omen? Tulin? Tulin is a little risky.
Yeah, but I do kind of like it in the hands of Poseidon because remember, it was a character he played incredibly well. They can still run it side lane if they like. Nova Esports like to make picks that they can flex on. Ooh. Last second.
They have to ban. Yeah, they're going to ban Chognar. They're going to ban Chognar here. And Mina is going to destroy. Without Chognar, Mina just is so strong. I think ban-wise, they need to ban Superman. They definitely need to ban Superman here.
Do they with the Omen?
Yes.
I think maybe the reason they draft the Omen is because their plan is not to ban the Superman.
Yeah, but I feel like Omen needs to land his Death's Embrace to shut down a Superman, but the way that Mulan is playing the Superman is just so deadly. You think the Roxy would counter the Superman, but it just didn't work that way. The early game is just he's just able to do so much burst and displacement against the opponents and set his team up for success. So I feel like Superman needs to be a priority ban. They're gonna ban Roxy instead here. So let's see how.
No Chognar removed for TDC though, so that may still give them options. If Grizzly Q can pick up the Chognar, we'll see what happens. 54 seconds left on Mr. Sun's ban timer, or pick timer rather, and he needs to, I think, take something away from Nova.
Yeah, I don't know. This Tulin is very interesting pick here. He's very good early game, so I think they're going for a very strong early game. They want to shut down the Linus early game, so Tulin offers that. Level 2, not many mages can compete against a Tulin level 2. Malik is very strong early game as well. And TDC picking up Wonder Woman, that's very interesting because Wonder Woman is countered by the Malik. However, she offers a very strong early game because she has that passive ability there that is basically like 2 abilities level 1, like kind of like how Ryoma has it as well. So that's going to be very interesting to see how the early game is going to play out.
Grizzly Q has to pick Jognar. We both feel that way, especially with the addition of the Wonder Woman. You need to have the ability to disengage from the stuns, the Raz, the Mina, the Wonder Woman. There's so much CC that can be avoided with simply one Jognar play. They'll get the Violet for the backlines.
Yeah, Violet is very good here. They can opt for potentially Alice. Okay, Alice instead. They they had some other options like the Challenger, but they're not going to play Challenger. They're gonna play the offense game instead of kind of a defensive game here. So what that means is they have to engage with the Alice with those hissy fits and stuff. But if Lindell's gets a solid flicker of Dark Dominion, that's going to be a nasty engage from TDC. And Xanis being picked up. Wow. Xanis is actually been played in the jungle for the Asia region because of his ability to stack up tons of damage, because every assist or kill that he gets, he increases his attack damage by 12, and it stacks up to 20 times. So that's 240 extra weapon attack damage that he can stack up. But you have to get kills or assists, and that's going to be critical for Xanis' win condition, because if he stacks up early and gets those kills early, then he's going to be able to scale from his passive there. So that's going to be very interesting to see how this will play out. And judging by them getting a kill a minute from the last game, it could work out for them.
One more opportunity for Nova, otherwise their game versus XD from India tomorrow is their last stand. If they want to ensure that they have a decent chance going into the Stage 2 groups, they need to at least contest here. One way or another, they will have to beat this team, either here or later on.
Yeah, it's gonna be very interesting. I haven't really had a chance to watch a lot of high tier Xanis play, so this is gonna be very fun to watch. It's gonna come down to how he's able to leverage his engage, because once Xanis goes in, he has to commit and just stay in, because when he uses his ultimate Dragon's Wrath, it's a knockup against enemy team, and then he has a nice buff for the next 5 seconds. He takes 15% less damage, and he does extra attack damage. And if you combine that with his passive Dragoon, he can actually couple a few shots, blow up a carry like a Violet. So Violet has to be very careful and cannot get caught by the Xanis here.
We'll see, we're into game Nova Esports versus TDC, match number 2. As Nova attempt to undo what was done to them in game 1. Uh-oh. I just lost the picture. Did you lose the picture?
Oh, there we go. We're
well?
back.
Oh, we're good.
Yes, I did.
Fantastic. And we're starting things off at 29 seconds with an early invade from Grizzly Q, desperately trying to find some vision into the enemy team. Mr. Suns will back off as well. This is actually very aggressive from Nova.
No, this is great because Tulin is level 2 and he's ahead. Again, you cannot contest a Tulin level 2. He just has too much damage. And this is a nice aggressive rotation by Nova here.
Oof. I do like to see it. Grizzly Q will need to play this safe though. Moon1 does take a lot of damage. The Wonder Woman not quite as super as the Superman last game. Mr. Suns knocked low as well. The aggression working well for Nova.
Yeah, that's exactly why they draft this Tulin here. Very smart there. They're playing to their win condition. Malik is so strong early with the Tulin as well. And because of that advantage, once Tulin is level 2, you cannot contest him. No one can contest a Tulin level 2 this early in the game. So the fact that TDC did not give a death over, it's really good for them. They're not that behind. And the key is they cannot play into Tulin's win condition and just continue to farm. You see Get Rich there. He's farming the bottom lane. That's what I love about the high tier teams. They're constantly farming and getting the clear speed very quickly so they don't fall behind in gold.
Spirit Sentinel up for grabs. Both teams drift towards it. TDC can do naught but watch, however, as Nova Esports' 3-man rotating core finds value. Coco with the flicker. Death's Embrace combo. Ishaldins is isolated. They can't find the kill. Poseidon and Coco fall. A devastating 2-on-3 start. Grizzly Q and iFlex consider a trade, but that is not what they were looking for.
Yeah, that was insane there, and that was so unfortunate. And the kill goes over to Get Rich, which now means the Xanis is starting to stack his Dragoon passive. That's going to make him much stronger, clear a little faster. That is massive for TDC. And just like that, they're even now in the gold.
Vex, Grizzly Q try and fall back, try and reset. There's an Abyssal Dragon up for grabs, maybe. That's Nova's path back into this early game. Those 2 kills didn't put them permanently behind, with the jungle stolen by TDC during the time, did put them slightly ahead.
Yeah, they are going to be just slightly ahead, but Nova is not that behind, so that's not bad for them. And Vex is going to go ahead and take the Vision Seagull. No one is able to take the Dragon because they are controlling the bot lane there. Oh my goodness.
iFlex, Vex in trouble. Mr. Suns again, such as, oh, that's a good shock. iFlex stomps down Summer. And that's a nice stop. Nova on the board.
Yeah, massive there. The Lindis side lane there, getting caught out with the Malik shock. And look at this dive here. Whoa. Coco's going to be able to activate that embrace.
Getrich needs to stay safe, and Coco's in a lot of trouble. Actually, he'll just linger, though. And he's actually able to make it quite difficult for the Xanis to stay alive, which means the rest of his team can pick up that Abyssal.
Yeah, and again, I love that they played this composition here. Vex on this marksman is working out so much better for them.
Nova and Grizzly Q will be rotating now towards the top lane. They had to recall earlier, which means Coco lost some tower HP. Now they're looking for a pick in response. In the meantime, iFlex is in trouble. Oof. He's going to get pulled in. Death Scythe, Dark Dominion, the shock for an exit. He'll be safe.
That's why maybe they first picked this Malik. When Malik lands that cleave and he gets that barrier from all the opponents around him, he is very, very tanky and hard to kill. And right now, Nova has regained the lead here after losing 2 deaths. And right now, what they need to be careful is not to get caught out again like they did earlier. And that is going to be very important. They have to group up first. They have to get that 3 or 4-man rotation before TDC does, and then engage onto TDC, because you cannot let Nina engage onto you first, because that's going to give them their win condition.
Grizzly Q and Poseidon will group up towards the mid lane. They've been playing such a strong duo. Coco, by contrast, is suffering from a duo. He's been 1v2 in lane almost this entire time, and his troubles are not over as the pressure comes through. Death Embrace will land. Moon One is stunned up. Grizzly Q now here as well, but the tower goes down. Gutritz is very low, but he's going to make it to safety. No, it's the Hizzy fit to deny. Coco will fall in trade. Poseidon's here. Maybe Nova can come out ahead, but it needs to be now. Sunshine is there. Thunderbird will connect, and the kill is there.
Yeah, that was a beautiful engage by Poseidon there, securing a kill onto Wonder Woman, and that's going to be a positive trade. And even though they traded a tower, that was still not a bad trade for TDC, because they were able to get 2 kills and the tower there and trade 2 kills back.
Yeah, TDC during that time were winning a fight down in the bottom lane. Vex fell and iFlex fell. An unsustainable trade despite all Nova's hard work in top.
Yeah, they have to watch out for the Lindis here. She has 2.6k gold, so if she starts getting her late game build, she's going to be a massive threat there. Along with the Xanis, she finished the Soul Reaver jungle item there. That's going to give them a lot of additional attack damage. So you think about it, if you don't have armor against Xanis, he's going to burst you down a lot, because you combine his passive with the Soul Reaver. Ooh, Poseidon in the tough spot here.
Hissy Fit will catch him out. He'll try and flicker, but there's the stun. Oh, the defense. Grizzly Q, you are a madman. He intercepts the lasso and buys Poseidon safety. Now the shock comes through. iFlex wants back in, and he will scare TDC back behind the tower.
Yeah, that was insane, the way that Grizzly positioned there. Poseidon was so low health. He got hit by the braces of submission, but look at this. Yeah, Get Rich is going to back off, actually, not try to engage that, which is pretty smart, because 3 versus 1, it's not going to work for you there. But that was insane what Grizzly Q did there. And that they have to be careful, because Poseidon is putting himself in a really tough spot, usually playing a little too aggressive on his 2-1.
High flex, Dark Dominions, Death Sight underneath the tower, and slain.
Yeah, iFlex unfortunately gets caught. And that's what I talked about, is the Mina there. They cannot get caught out, because every time they lose one person and the dragon is up, they're going to take the dragon. You do not want to be overly positioning when the dragon is up, because one death is literally going to hand the dragon over to enemy team. So they have to be a lot more cognizant of that and play much more careful against a team that's so calculated. Because that's what they do. They want to pressure you. They want to look for a pick. They get the pick, and guess what? They get the objective. And now, just like that, they are now ahead in gold and kills.
iFlex will be able to press back towards the mid lane. Nova, yes, are behind, but I'd like to point out their goal is almost even. And that is the first time in 2 games that's the case.
Yeah, this is good for Nova. They have a chance to win with this composition. Vex is not that behind. He's 4.1k gold compared to 4.3k gold of Get Rich there. But notice the Wonder Woman, Muon is pretty fed here, and even with Coco.
Damage will land, so he gets to safety. iFlex will hold mid. They're farming Poseidon up from the jungle. That's a little bit curious to me. Normally you'd be very focused on power farming Vex, and they do save the minion for him.
Yeah, Poseidon is going to be key to fighting off the engages from Get Rich here. Oh, Coco.
Coco going down, isolated. Originally Q and Vex are there, so it's a kill with very little gained from it, but the gold and the shutdown still do matter, especially onto a solo laner such as Coco.
Yeah, and the key thing is when the stats come up, I want to see how many assists and how many kills a Get Rich has, because that's going to tell me how. Yep, he has 5.
Lasso behind 2 towers from Moon 1. It'll work nonetheless. Still enough of a threat. The trouble is gained. However, he's stunned in the middle of a hissy fit. That wasn't safe. The chase from Poseidon. 2 lightning strikes. He can't find the kill. Oh, narrowly. Oh, 1/3 of the Ion Blast connects, and it's enough. Now the threat comes through in the mid lane, and the defense is there. Down a player, TDC can't contest.
That was amazing. Poseidon is so good in this too. How did he know that was going to kill him, the Iron Blast? He literally backed off and just shot the Iron Blast and moved away. He just knew that it was going to hit him and then secure the kill there at the edge. I mean, such high tier play by these heroes here. And iFlex rotating in a very bad position here.
But actually, he might have screwed Grizzly Q as well, because he rotated in to help, and now he needs the sunshine and the help of all his friends. He does have it. There's the stun, there's the escape, and somehow Nova bail out their overextended supports.
Yeah, they gotta be careful. I don't know why he was... Again, you never, ever rotate to an enemy jungle 1 man, let alone 2 man. You always do a 3 to 4 man rotation. You want to check or take the jungle and deny jungle, and I feel like iFlex is completely out of his depth there by overextending, because every single mistake matters. Every single mistake. This is your chance to really turn this game around and make this a best of 3 series here.
iFlex, their star player for the regular season, is currently 1-3-0. That is not the scoreline you're looking for. He's responsible for a lot of his team's deaths. Coco also at 0-3-2, but for Coco it's a little bit understandable because he's been playing into 2 the entire time.
Yeah, and you're giving Xanis stacks. Xanis has 3 assists, 2 kills. That's 5 stacks, 5 times 12. That's 60 extra damage he has on every single auto attack. And he's a high attack speed, movement speed kind of hero. His ultimate gives him extra attack speed, and that's something that they have to be careful for.
iFlex in the mid lane will be just holding. The rest of Nova try and group and find some control. You can see TDC pressing on all sides now. They know they have wave. They feel in control despite only being in about 3k of a gold lead. In the meantime, they're focusing the Slayer.
Yeah, they are going to focus there. Nova should try to contest this because that's their chance to get right back into this game here. Because right now, they are not pressuring any lanes. They're getting out-pressured all 3 lanes.
Sneaky. They're sending a team to contest both Abyssal and Slayer, and they'll withdraw from whichever one Nova threatens. That is so sneaky.
That is insane. That's confidence right there, TJ. That is absolute decision-making and confidence. And they get the Abyssal, and then Xanis now has the Dark Blessing. That is scary for Vex. They gotta be careful for the Xanis here.
They'll threaten the mid lane. Stun does land onto the Mina, but it's not enough for iFlex to chase, and Nova just needs to play behind the tower. Coco isolating down bottom is a particular worry for me.
Yeah, right now they're completely getting out-pressured, and this is not looking good for Nova because they're getting slowly choked out. It was a 3k gold lead, now it's a 4k gold lead for TDC, and now they're going to take the Dark Slayer as well. Oh my goodness. The way that they're playing and controlling the objective and the entire map is basically not allowing Nova to come back in this game. They're not giving it any opening for Nova to try to come back in this game.
TDC are now double buffed. Consider them swole. Nova Esports will have an impossible task laid out ahead of them. They can still win the fight, but it has to be perfect.
Yeah, and the key thing too is they're gonna fall behind. I mean, Tulin falls off late game. He doesn't scale as well as the Raz does. Xanis scales really well once he stacks he gets 20 total kills and assists together. That's a lot of attack damage there, and they have to try to make a play now, because if they get to super late game, Lindis, Xanis, Raz, and that's a lot of late game characters here that can really do some work.
Dark Dominion will land. iFlex scared back, he'll play safe. Drake knocking against the tower. This needs to be a threat. A lone Thunderbird comes out. Here's the wave. That high ground's under threat, and nobody from Nova can stand to defend. That means the high ground's gone. The Drake finally will be slain. But it's too little, too late. Already the high ground has been pierced.
Yeah, and all they have is Vex is the only hope on the Violet late game, but that's not enough because you have to deal with Mr. Sun's amazing Raz here. You have to deal with Summer.
My goodness. iFlex again pressing forward to clear wave. He goes down. Now Nova try and group up. They need to defend this tower. Waves will reach them from mid and top. And they got the clear because as the buffs fade, TDC decide to fall off.
Yeah, that was unfortunate. Again, he has 4 deaths. iFlex has 4 deaths on this Malakir. He got caught out a few times. I feel like they need to make sure that if TDC is pressuring the top tower with 3-man, you need to rotate 2 at least. 1 person cannot defend a 3-man rotation against tower. You need 2 to rotate there, and you have to kind of distract your opponents and not get caught out, and that's something that he has to be careful about. But look at Get Richard. Look how fast he's clearing these jungle camps. Wow, yeah. That's the power of the Xanis late game. He's gonna start to scale. He has 8. He has 8 stacks now. He get up to 20 stacks. So the longer the game goes, the more powerful the Xanis gets.
Yeah, I've been waiting for Get Search to be able to get onto like one of the squishies, the Violet, and just blow him up, but we haven't seen it yet. Now the threat will shift towards this top lane. Minions in mid as well. Nova just need to play defense. They drove all 5 out. This is winnable, but they need to be insane. We've seen them hold on terrifyingly long times before, but never with 2 high grounds down. Ooh. The odds stacked against them. Coco will flicker in. Summer's caught out. Hissy fit as well. There's the shock. iFlex commits. Poseidon through. Thunderbird will connect. There are the kills. Nova do stabilize. That is insanity.
That was amazing play by Coco there. The Sunshine comes out, hits Lindis, Summer, and then there's no immediate follow-up. Malik could have shock out to there, but Coco then goes in, lands a Death from Embrace, then the shock comes out, actually misses the Lindis, but lands a cleave, they get the kill, and then Poseidon just jumps in, guns blazing, doing so much AoE damage on the 2 lane and forcing the team to back off.
Get Search finds 2. There's that Xanax we were waiting for. Nova need to run. Poseidon and iFlex got melted. Vex is stopping to clear out jungle. This is a 3v5. You cannot linger. Otherwise, this will not be Nova's game. And actually, GetSearch is committing. The Hissy Fit needs to be spent defensively. Coco's trying to group up to provide extra defense, and Nova will make it back to their base.
Yeah, they have to build Shield of the Lost. If they don't, there's no way they can win. Xanax is way too fed. He has Rank Breaker, his Omni Arms, his Fenrir's Tooth, he has Soul Reaver, and he's going to build another more damage on him. He has so much attack damage and attack speed that he can literally kill the entire enemy team if they bunch up on top of him. This is super dangerous. They have to be able to shut him down. Vex has no armor. Only Malik has any armor, which is Aegis and Sonic Boots. But you look at the whole team, Poseidon has no armor, and the Omen, Coco just has Mantle of Law. That's not even enough armor there. So the Xanax is literally going to destroy the entire enemy team. So they have to be very careful and not fall to Xanax's attack damage. He has 10 stacks. TDC. That's 150 extra attack damage. 128 extra attack damage he has from his passive already.
TDC do get the Abyssal buff. Now an opportunity presents itself in the form of Coco. Just poke, nothing more.
I wonder if how close Get Rich is to finishing his last tier 3 item here. Because once he gets his late game build, it's going to be devastating. Just watch the amount of damage he's going to do against his opponents. So right now, what Nova EUE needs to do, TJ, they need to combo. They need to, the Hissy Fit, the Shock Ultimate, the Death's Embrace onto Xanax, and they need to then blow him up. Because he doesn't have that much defense, actually. So they need to be able to blow him or Mr. Suns up. And Xanax just got the Blade of Affinity there. That gives 10% amplification on his attack damage, and that's massive.
GetSearch also with the Dark Blessing and the Blade of Eternity. He will be nigh on unkillable. That Dark Slayer is his.
Look at the life steal he's also
the Abyssal buff though. I do feel TDC are playing too slow.
Yeah, they are playing very slow. But look at the pressure coming from all the lanes now. Coco is going to be the key. They need another Death's Embrace there.
Every
Grizzly,
second
Coco,
TDC
and
don't close the game, they create an opportunity for Nova to make their way back into it, because they maxed out build at this point. They cannot get tougher, whereas Nova are still finishing up their final items.
Yeah, someone needs Shield of the Lost. Honestly, they need to slow down the attack speed coming from the Xanax. That's if they can slow down the attack speeds from the Lindis, the Xanax, and Worm. Think about it. There's 3 people with attack damage power. Shield of the Lost counters them so well. They need that item, I feel, to be able to have a better chance of winning these fights. Or they just need to combo the Hissy Fitness Shock Ultimate super well here. They have to execute their combos super well, because if Mina is alive and is able to engage with Dr. Minion, that could be a GG very quickly.
Arctic Orb picked up actually over on the side, and that's kind of curious. Wave clear will continue. Here's the Drake-powered wave arriving at the final high ground tower that remains. It will be commit under it. Coco desperately trying to hold things off. He will stall out Moonrun. There's the bracelet stun. No Dark Dominion will land. Coco survives. iFlex to fall. That's first blood. There may be more. Poseidon plays defense. Oh, the dive. Grizzly Q, half HP. Poseidon's gone. Coco cannot hold, but Vex is doing the damage. Vex is holding. There's the Blade of Eternity. Coco is back. He'll find the damage. Grizzly Q takes frontline. Vex finds the clear. Moonrun focuses the core. He cannot make it happen. Vex, that's an overextension. He goes down after a triple kill. Blade of Eternity is there. A double kill for Vex. He stays alive. However, there are still minions. He must clear this tower. A 1v2 from Europe's star player. Here are the super minions. He recalls into base, retreating, and that's too far. 1 kill found. Moonrun doesn't have the core damage. Vex is so low. Moonrun needs to find the kill, and he does. TDC take it 2-0.
Wow, TJ, that was just insane. This is why Vex has such a good reputation at Vibe, but he did have that slight overextension there. Could have kept his distance. He needed to heal. He actually could have replenished his health there on the home base, but my goodness, that was just insane. The engage coming from TDC in that last fight there. That was just crazy how back and forth they went. But you see how Tulin kind of fell off a little bit, and the burst coming from Suns, and an engage potential from Xanis, and also the Lindis getting to late game. It was so hard for Nova to win late game. I mean, the entire team of TDC was pretty late game. The Xanis, the Lindis, the Raz, and then you look on the side of Nova, they just had the Violet, and you see how Vex was able to carry so hard there with the Violet late game. But because they were able to secure that early game, the late game composition of TDC really shined.
I'm still regaining my breath. I'm terribly sorry. Man, Vex almost made that happen, but I don't think it would have been enough, even if he had. And that was the first performance from Vex that entire game. That final fight was the first time that I felt Vex was doing the major damage during the team fights to save his team, and that is not enough.
Yeah, and I think he should learn from TDC and play Xanis, because I love that they take Lindis away, right? They put her in a side lane. That's something I see the Asia regions do from time to time. And then they put a very solid jungler, like a Crickneck normally with Lindis, but Xanis also works really well since Crickneck is almost always banned. And you can see Xanis works because he can scale late game. You know, he can build a heavy, high damage output build like the Fenrir's Tooth or Bank Breaker and just blow people up. And I think Vex, as a really strong melee player, should probably learn Xanis and see why the Asia teams are using him so often. But look at that build, and look at the sheer damage and late game potential of TDC.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to highlight two players being a little bit short here. iFlex noticeably statistically had a rough series.
Yeah.
Vex statistically did great, but how much of that damage was consequential? I'm thinking nearly enough. Because it did feel like he carried that final fight, and that was the first time I noticed Vex doing major damage.
Yeah, the thing is, they needed to be decisive, because you look at like Mr. Sun, Summer, and Get Rich, they didn't have that much defense. So when a Sunshine lands, you get the shock ultimate up immediately, and then you put the hissy fit down so that they're silenced. They can't do anything. And I feel like they didn't really leverage that combo well enough.
There were a few noticeable times. The Agni's Grasp game 1 stands out to me. Coco landed in Agni's Grasp, dragged someone behind 2 towers, and they couldn't find focus.
It was Muon and Superman. He was dragged, and no one followed up. And I feel like it's a little bit of miscommunication for Nova EU here. That's something they have to learn for tomorrow, because TDC just dominated both XD and Nova EU in a similar fashion. So we don't know how well Nova will play against XD, or how well XD will play against Nova. That's a pretty scary thing to deal with tomorrow.
We'll have to see. XD Gaming versus Nova will be the match to follow tomorrow. If you're just joining us, though, don't go far. We have one more game still today. It's going to be Sudara Esports from Indonesia facing off against Alpha Red from Thailand. Our first look at the terrifying side of Alpha Red, and I can't wait for it. If you just thought you saw some good AOV, there is still more to come. I'm going to do it again, Sui. Make the call. You have Sudara Esports versus Alpha Red. You've been pretty inconsistent today, I won't lie.
What? No, the only one I made a wrong prediction on was Nova, because I was gunning for Nova EU, because I knew it was a prediction that probably was going to be wrong, because I knew OMG was going to beat Tamago, and I knew Swing Phantom was going to beat Nova Latam. But, you know, my heart's with Nova EU. I want at least one of the Nova teams to make it to at least be successful, but unfortunately they both fall today. Nova Latin America goes home, but Nova EU has one more chance tomorrow, which I think they should be able to beat XD Gaming. But for Alpha Red versus SCS, clearly Alpha Red, a dominant 2-0.
There's the call. We'll come back with that match. Don't miss your chance to see Alpha Red in action after this.